I think the part that's been fun for me, just to be around these guys on a daily basis. I grab when Josh, you don't have a choice. Josh is going to bear hug you at the end there, right? So I thought about being on this field. First time I met you, Robert, I think a week ago on this field in that far corner, the day I took the job, and I told those guys on Thursday morning when we met, listen, this journey started together on that field in a sense, right? Like I watched them play, didn't know who they were. They were kind of nameless, faceless guys that I was trying to get their names down and what positions they play and all that. And then I thought about the growth that we've had, and I just have seen them continue to get better every day. And like today, summed it up when Velo went down and Pilstrom came in. That was just awesome just to watch Pill do that, right? And then I think our other guys fed off it. And then Art unfortunately goes down and to bring in BP off the bench and wasn't all that as clean as I'm sure he wanted, but he ended up making it happen in the long run. And Chase Brown to get knocked down and to have all those guys pop up defensively to just be resilient. That's what this group is. They just continue to fight. A lot of fun to be around, and hopefully now they begin to taste that victory bite, right? And hopefully they'll want more.
Bret, who's the one who gave you that ball?
Josh gave me this. I forgot, I had no idea it was my 100th victory. I had no idea. I told the crew, though, obviously a lot of those victories came from other places. Hopefully this is the start of 100 more here, right? I love this atmosphere. I think our players have bought in 100 times over. And when you're in tough times, right, a million different reasons maybe to go other directions. And I'm telling you, last Wednesday's practice, not this week, during the bye week, that Wednesday practice was probably our best practice of the year. And that doesn't just happen. That comes from high character, faith, trust. It was just awesome to witness, and then to see that locker room now is pretty special.
So when we did have that conversation a year ago, you said you wanted to immediately put your culture in place.
Yeah.
So is this, a result of 308 days from there to here?
Yeah, we're not where we need to be, right? But I love the attitude, the enthusiasm, the energy. They're just boundless, and they fight for each other, right? There's one thing that has really come out is just how much they fight for one another. And when one guy goes down, the other guy steps in. Believe me, they care for him and they love him. I saw all those guys come over to Velo when he was laying there in pain and gave him, pats and taps, but they also were patting Pilstrom on the ass and said, let's go do this, right? So I give a lot of credit to our leadership, our captains, all the things that they've done before I got here and all the growth they've had since we've arrived.
And then tell me about Brandon that, comes in the sixth overtime or
yeah.
whatever, ends up throwing the winning touchdown.
Yeah, I think BP, especially, this week was probably a little bit difficult for him. We made the decision early in the week to go with Art and kind of rep him through it. But a true credit to BP and his ability to kind of, just rise above the one. The one good thing is he's played a lot of football, right? And he's been through a lot of heartbreak, and hopefully today was hopefully the start of something that can give him a couple wins here in his last couple games here as an Illini.
Bret, I know it wasn't loudly inside of the building, but outside there was a little bit of noise. What would it say about your guys who managed
Today?
the week?
Oh. Yeah, I get it. I know you guys had to ask questions, but it really wasn't noise in our building. And then I think I made a comment a couple weeks ago. I wish everybody could see what happens inside the Smith Center, because it's the trust, the faith, the guidance, the belief. I see our guys enjoy being around our players, but I saw the joy that when those players hug their coaches and say the things they do, and really the non-issues that we've had away from the football, right? They just have bought in 100 times over to what we've been selling them and preaching them. And to get a win on the road, a Big Ten team, a ranked Big Ten team, and then to battle through all those overtimes, I thought was just a great indication. Now, it does us nothing for this week, right? So we got to hop on the plane. One of the things I've experienced when you win here at Penn State, a lot of times you get cold showers, so we kept talking all week. Let's take a cold shower, right? It was kind of our theme. It's the last thing I said to the locker room before I left. And they just buy into little stuff like that, right? And it's fun for them, but it's fun for their parents. It's fun for their friends, their families. It's fun for them to get to make a phone call now for their parents who weren't here and talk about what they just did. But hopefully it's just another step in the right direction.
How tough was your team today?
What's that?
How tough was your team today?
They were really tough. I think they're tough. They're resilient. They were smart too, right? They got a little chippy, and guys, they had to grab Josh, and he's a young, energetic, dynamic player, and just get him to feel the moment the right way. I can't say enough about the guys that popped into that, and then our defense, man. Just I think it starts with Ryan and the coaches, the way they coach those guys up, and the way they push them during the course of the week. Our kids defensively on the field, there ain't anybody having more fun than those guys at practice, I promise you. And it was kind of weird this week. We practiced in the stadium with crowd noise, right, for offense. And we practiced out on the grass fields for defense. We were kind of a split practice, something I kind of opted to do. On Tuesday, we were all on the grass, and then Wednesday we split practices, and I was a little nervous about, just the result of that. We've never done it before, and our guys just said, hey, Coach, that's what we got to do to win. Let's do this. And it was just awesome to watch them get ready, prepare. They went back and took the discipline of what we talked about since last winter to where we are today, and that's what made it happen.
But I know you said this doesn't do anything for you next week, but there have been times this season that you guys were in a close game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
The team had a late touchdown. What's the growth to see the defense get those stops?
Yeah, those 9 overtimes, right? Like it's just it's the definition. I'll tell you what, there was a key moment when Art was on the ground over there, and our guys knew that he'd been hurt. You could feel the kind of momentum, and I remember I just ran out in the huddle and I said, hey, one play. And our coaches started, and all of a sudden they just went up and made it happen. And there's so many, kind of the bad news bears, right? There's not really one guy on defense that's just the marquee guy. It's just a lot of guys. Kalen Tolson, Tariq Barnes, right? All the guys up front. I think Keith Randolph and Johnny Newton and Rod and OC, like, and in the back end, I was giving Kirby a little bit of heat because he didn't go no picks today, right? Like it's just the spoon making some aggressive. It's just a bunch of guys that play really well together and don't deserve who gets the credit. They just want to get the results.
Tell us about the game plan. You come out jumbo. You've got a lot of 7 offensive linemen, 2 tight end sets.
Yeah.
Is that the plan coming in?
Yeah, I just thought that that for us it was a better matchup if we got bigger, that formation was actually put in before Monday, so everybody's probably like, he put in 7 linemen. But that was actually something we worked in and put in last week. Something we've used in the past. I've used in the past. And I give Tony a lot of credit. There was a few wrinkles, and then even some adaptate as well as I was working. We did some things during the course of the game, but it just gets all the more people involved. We also got little at times, got 10 and 11 people out there, 10, 11 personnel. I thought our running backs, including Jakari, get in there in the end. Like everybody's going to have to matter.
But I know this is 100 for you.
Yeah.
Where you're at in building this, what does this one mean to you? And where you want to go?
I get the question, but really we're just in the middle of a Big Ten season, right? We played one other Big Ten road game at Purdue, and we weren't able to close it out. So that was kind of. I told our guys on Tuesday when we got together, right? There was 3 things, right? So as a team, we wanted to play a Big Ten game on the road for 4 quarters and be the toughest team on the football field. As units, right? As an offensive unit, defensive unit, punt return. I said I just want to be the best 11 on that play and play it one play at a time. And then individually, we have 3 goals we always talk about, right? And every day when we get up, if we can do 3 things, if we can do what's right, be respectful of others, and be the best you. Like I get it, they do all that other stuff, but I said this week, let's just be the best you. I don't need a first-team All-American or a NFL first-round draft pick. I just need 11 guys on the field being the best of them. And when that happens, and you teach that, and it's selfless, I think the stuff of today can happen.
Your thoughts on the new format for overtimes?
Yeah.
What did you think of
We had practiced it a little bit, but nothing really like the actual of, hey, everything became a 2-point play, and it really comes on you quick. I've been involved actually against Penn State. I believe it was at our place, though. Coach O'Brien was the coach, so I've been involved in a Penn State overtime game, but it was the old way, and it just kind of seemed to drag on and on. And this, I could see why we want to make the fans happy, right? It's a fan-generated world we're living in, and I got to believe those 2-point plays. It was a lot of fun for the fans. It was a lot of fun for us. In a way, it kind of gets the guys going. To be quite honest, like every play is another opportunity, and then when there was a stop, you knew what you had to do. If there was a touchdown, you knew what you had to do. I tell you, the greatest thing I saw today was Isaiah Williams do everything he could to get in that end zone, right? Like probably the littlest guy on the field there at that big moment, but he played as big as anybody out there, and those kind of things make it real.
How do you keep your poise in that overtime? Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, I think as coaches, we did it. I give a lot of credit to my coaches. We're ahead of it, so I knew the rhythm of it. So I kept saying, like, I knew we were going to go down to the one end. I knew they were going to go to the other end. I knew we always wanted to start on defense. So I kind of just kept. I was ahead. Like a lot of times, if the defense was out there, I was talking to Tony, and vice versa. So I think as coaches, they did a really good job of just being ahead of. There wasn't any, sudden moments where like, what are we going to call? They knew what we were doing while the other unit was on the field, and I give them a lot of credit.
What's it say about Brandon, just the way his season's been?
Yeah.
And injuries to step in that moment.
Awesome. Like he didn't take any reps basically during the bye week. Got cleared on Tuesday and didn't take a lot of reps during the course of the week. But we knew he's taken a lot of reps in his career, so we knew if he came in today, he'd be fresh, and give a lot of credit to him and then trusting with his teammates to get there as well.
And what about a freshman like Zach Bartlett? I mean, you threw him out there.
Yeah.
First plays, 100,000 people in the stands.
Yeah.
You have any special words for him before that? Saying,
We for about 2 weeks, Robert, we had been saying not just last week, but we'd been trying to get Barlev in there, right? And just hadn't been the right moment. So that's kind of why I introduced the Barge package, was just to get a way to make sure we had Barlev in the game plan. And I actually grabbed Krutzy too, because Krutzy traveled. We didn't play him, but both those guys, I wanted to max out their 4 games. I don't think they're quite there to jump into the middle of a Big Ten rotation, but they're going to be there, right? They're good young players that have developed. Dylan Rosiak, I think there was a couple other freshmen that we brought on a trip, and Josh McCray continues to just get better every game, and Pat Bryant got in there. You saw Miles Scott get in there. There was a lot of guys that got in and broke their first opportunity to get on the field. It was pretty fun.
the official name is Barge package. Can we
That is a barge. Yeah, probably shouldn't. Well, it's not. Everybody. It's kind of obvious when we go to it. The barge package is 7 people, 2 tight ends, but there'll be variations. I'm sure we go.
Sure.
I know you said you've had that in for a little bit, but what did that big package, what was the rationale, I guess, behind going?
Just to get big, so when you're watching film, you can see how teams play against bigger people or against littler people. We just felt when the bigger we got, it kind of we felt we could dictate what we were going to get out of them a little bit better. Just the way it kind of unfolds. I think it did a really good job by our coaches of taking it and adopting it. And then there was actually some things that we adjusted during the course of the game today. I just thought it was really positive.
I do one more, and then we got players, right?
Will you remember the last 2-point conversion most, or is there another moment you'll remember from this game the most?
Yeah, you remember all the games always come in flashes, right? And a lot of times as a head coach, you're ahead of the play, So I was literally, even though we called that play, I was thinking about the next defensive stand that we were going to be in, and then everybody started going nuts. I distinctly remember Isaiah getting in on that play. I just, there's certain players that you know that it's in them and what he can do, and he just wasn't going to be dying on that play. But also I thought Josh McCray ripping off some of those big runs and breaking tackles, and Chase Brown doing the same thing. I was excited to see DJ get that play. Unfortunately, we were downfield on the screen. DJ and I had a great meeting on Thursday, and him and Luke just got so much in front of them that I think they can just keep going. So, and to be quite honest, to see Pilstrom, a guy that was a walk-on here, tight end, that is now, came in and played in this environment and played in a big-time way. I run the shield on punt, and he's been my guy that I've been meeting with, since day one. So, we usually start our meetings at 7 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, and they come in and I just have a special moment. It's usually all the offensive linemen in there with me, so it's just little stuff like that stands out in your mind.